The US markets rose on Monday over the planned merger deals and news from China concerning the recent reforms in the real estate market. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones added 1.2 and 1.5% respectively, although both indices dropped more than 2% the previous week. European indices also advanced as positive macroeconomic data were released. They were buoyed by the news from China and the euro depreciation. Stoxx 600 added 1.1%, the German DAX 30 1.8%. The yen kept falling against the US dollar. The Japanese currency lost 0.8% on Monday, which hadn't happened for more than a month. Oil prices dipped as market participants expected the successful outcome of negotiations on Iran's nuclear program. Gold futures closed lower on Tuesday for the third straight trading session as the US dollar strengthened. The day before, corn prices sagged 4.6%. As of March 1, 2015, US Department of Agriculture reported that US corn supplies at 7.74 billion bushels were bigger than expected, and farmers are set to plant more area than forecast. Wheat prices fell also as the plantings were estimated to fall less than previously forecast. Brent crude oil futures continued to slip. Investors were concerned that after the lifting of sanctions, Iran would increase export to 2.8 million barrels a day. It is worth mentioning that currently the sanctions limit the exports to 1 million barrels a day. The US indices started to decline following the negative economic reports released on Wednesday. According to ADP report, the number of new jobs in the private sector rose by 189,000 and not by 225,000 as expected. The US dollar dipped against other major currencies as the ICE US dollar index dropped 0.2%. European stocks rose on Wednesday in a partial rebound from the fall on Tuesday, when investors took profits before the start of a new quarter. The boost was caused by the upward revision of PMI forecasts for Eurozone, including Spain and Italy. Nikkei climbed 1.5% as hedge funds covered short positions, and the Bank of Japan bought exchange trade funds in the amount of 35.2 billion yen. Crude oil prices reversed and started to advance. The reason was a sudden rise in oil demand and the lack of progress in negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. US stocks upped on Thursday as macroeconomic data were only moderately positive and the dollar index fell. Market participants consider it a positive development as it also postponed the rate hike. Nikkei rose in tandem with US stock indices. Honda Motor shares increased 1.7% after the company rolled out a new concept Civic at the New York Motor Show. Brent crude oil slumped after the US agreed to lift sanctions against Iran. The main event on financial markets on Friday was the release of the US non-farm payrolls. Major stock markets were closed for the celebration of Good Friday. Compared to the previous month's performance, non-farm payrolls dropped more than 50% from 264,000 to 126,000 jobs, causing the weakening of the US dollar against the most liquid currencies. This week, we recommend you to pay attention to ISM non-manufacturing PMI, released on Monday, and the monetary policy statement, which will be published by the Bank of Japan on Wednesday. Both these events may cause high volatility of the US dollar and the Japanese yen relative to the remaining liquid currencies. This was all for the week. Thank you and see you next week.